All right, good evening, everyone. I call our business meeting to order June 10th, 2020. Notice that this meeting has been duly advertised in compliance with the provision of the Open Public Meeting Law. Please be advised that this meeting is being audio recorded for possible later playback. Everyone, please rise to the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty and justice for all. I'd like to start tonight's meeting with a moment of silence to recognize the difficult times our nation, our state, and our community have faced over the past several months. We as a community struggle with the new realities of the global pandemic, as seen by the number of residents that have become sick and have perished under COVID-19. We have seen unrest in our neighboring communities played out on national level. But in these difficult times, we have also witnessed our citizens unite and rise to the challenge of tending to the sick, distributing food and supplies to the needy, and acting to heal the suffering that tends to divide us. We have demonstrated that we as a community will always be there for each other, and that is as it should be. We ask that you please join us in a moment of silence to reflect on the recent events. Thank you, everyone. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Microphone.
Here.
Councilwoman Hess.
Here.
Councilman Jackson. Councilwoman Sinnen.
Here.
Councilman Strapoli.
Present.
President Randolph Sharp.
Here.
Mayor.
Here. Entertain a motion for approval of minutes for council meeting May 4th, 2020.
I make a motion the bills have been properly audited and signed.
Council meeting.
Payment.
Approval,
Second.
minutes. It's for minutes.
Oh, so moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Strapoli.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes, and you have to bear with me. Our Wi-Fi is down in the neighborhood, so I'm jockeying between my phone, trying to go back to minutes and everything else. So.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Entertain a motion for council meeting approval of minutes from May 13th, 2020.
So moved.
Dave's saying I can do the 27th as well,
And the 27th.
and then the executive session as well. So,
All present?
except for the 13th. Justin was out.
Okay.
Just do the 13th for now, please, because Justin was absent.
Okay. All right, so moved.
And a second, please.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Strapoli.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
And council meeting and executive session for May 27th, 2020.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Strapoli.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
Entertain a motion for payment of bills, please.
I make a motion that bills have been properly audited and signed, be approved for payment.
And a second, please.
Second. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sinnen.
Yes.
Councilman Strapoli.
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp.
Yes.
The following reports have been filed and are available in their respective offices for review and will be included in the minutes. the tax collector's report, the sewer report, and the treasurer's report. First reading, ordinance 2020-10, non-contractual salary ordinance. Entertain a motion, please.
I make a motion that ordinance 2020-10 be adopted as read first reading, published according to law, posted in the Borough Hall with the second reading being held at our next regularly scheduled meeting.
And a second, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons?
Yes.
Councilman Stropoli?
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp?
Yes.
Consent agenda. The items listed below are considered routine by the Borough of Lindenwold and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no formal discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Entertain a motion for Resolution 2020-125 and 126.
Make a resolution for 2020-125 through 126.
Please.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DiDomenico?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Simmons?
Yes.
Councilman Stropoli?
Yes.
President Randolph Sharp?
Yes.
At this time, I'm going to open the meeting to the council. Anyone from council have anything they would like to say? Please do so now. State your name so people know who you are.
Yeah, this is Councilman Foley. I want to tell the residents that the Public Works Department, the Highway Department is working very hard to clean up this town, and you're just going to have to bear with us because this storm was devastating, and we just can't seem to get caught up, but we're working hard on it. That's all, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else?
Yes, Councilwoman Simmons. I just want to let everyone know that Camden County Freeholder Director Cekala will be doing a COVID-19 virtual update tomorrow, June 11th at 12:30. It's able to be watched on Camden County's website, which is www.camdencounty.com. I received a daily email from the County Administrator's Office stating the number of cases and deaths per town with the virus. Currently, Camden County has 7,192 cases with 352 deaths. Of this, Lindenwold has 418 cases with 5 deaths. Also, this Saturday, the freeholders are hosting a food distribution at Camden County College. It will be held parking lot 6 at the Blackwood location starting at noon. So that's this Saturday. And last thing I have is the pet license. If you have not registered your pet with the borough, please do so as soon as possible. Starting June 15th, you will be charged a $25 late fee on the borough website. The cost is $15 if your pet is neutered, $20 if your pet is not neutered. Please bring your rabies certificate with you also. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Anyone else from council?
I have something as Councilwoman Sharp. I'm sharing from Commitment Community Church. We'll be having a prayer walk this Sunday, June the 14th at 4 p.m. It's a peaceful walk, and it's to pray for all nations.
Thank you, Council President. Anyone else from council? All right, how about my administrator? Do you have anything?
Yes, I'd like to give a report on the census. April 1st was a reference date, not a deadline date. It's not too late to respond to the census. Completing the census can help with funding for education, infrastructure, healthcare, employment and training, and other important aspects. As of June 9th, Lindenwold has a 47.9% response rate. And according to the census, as well as the county, we are considered an underperforming town. And we want to do our part to increase that. We, in 2010, was at 62.1%. So we want to encourage all of our residents who have not completed the census to please do so, because we want to at least meet that or exceed that response rate. So commit to completing your census survey and telling others so that you can be counted today, so that Lindenwold can be counted as well as the county. It's easy, it's safe, and it's important. So over the next couple of weeks, a census mobile billboard in town. It's just a matter of coordinating with the county as to where exactly we will be putting the billboard. But we also are going to come up with some different activities to challenge the community so that we can do our part to increase our response rate. So that's it as far as the census update. Also, I would just like to inform everyone that effective June the 8th, all of the employees return to their full-time capacity, so there will no longer be rotating into the office. However, we are still closed to the public. It's our hopes to open by the end of June, but we are still waiting for guidance as to the opening to the public. So that completes my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Administrator. Anyone else? Okay, at this time, I'd like to open the meeting to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please state your name and address for the record, and go ahead.
Diane Terry, 637 Fifth Avenue. Mayor, I've asked several times regarding the borough if anyone is working, and you kept saying half days they're working from home. I have a major problem now because back in February and March, right before the pandemic, my heater went, and I was without heat for 5 weeks. It should have only been 4. But when they finally couldn't get a part and I had to get a new heater, the pandemic had already started. So I was considered emergency. But cannot get a hold of anyone at the township. My contractor tried for a week for permits, and no one would answer the phone. So I had to beg him to put it in. I said, we'll deal with the consequences, because I can tell you right now, my neighbors will turn me in. And sure enough, we got the violation and the fine because I had the heater put in. Now, called yesterday, I called today. No one answers the phone. So how am I supposed to get permits if no one answers the phone? And as a health risk, I was not going all this time without heat. My dogs were displaced because I had no heat and hot water. So how do I handle this?
Mr. Terry, this is Dawn Thompson. I just wanted to let you know that the employees have been rotating into the office up until June 8th, when we became full-time. And they have checked all of their voicemails, they have checked all of their emails. So I'm not sure what office was being called, I'm not sure what office the contractor was calling. Do you have the exact extension? Because we have responded to pretty much every email.
He has all the paperwork because he's the one who got the fine. Everything went to him. So we just have to deal with getting it, to get it inspected. But the problem is, I called today and no one answered the phone. I called yesterday and no one answered the phone.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Terry. I'm not sure.
I called the main number and then I called the construction office.
Okay, because the
main... Is that the wrong number?
What is, you've been calling 783-2121? And which extension have you been calling? Well, I would just like to say that in the future, if you're having those problems and not getting return calls, so please call me, because I have had a few residents that, recently our public works phones were down and they've had issues and they've called the borough and we were able to resolve those. But I do know that Mr. Leary is aware of the situation, and I'm not really sure at this point. They're waiting, I believe, to get in the information that was requested from the contractor, and it will be handled as quickly and expeditiously as we can. And I do apologize for...
He also got fined. He shouldn't have to pay a fine.
No one answered. Mr. Terry, we're going to be working on that as well. I don't see it being an issue to waive whatever penalties. So as soon as we get the documentation from your contractor, we will handle it accordingly. So I do apologize on behalf of, the borough, in terms of you indicating that we did not respond to your messages or to the contractor's messages, but I will tell you that all of the offices were advised, because we were working on a rotational basis. Some of us were here every day working, such as myself. So, again, I do want to apologize, but they were responding to emails and voicemails as they received them. So as soon as we get the information, we will take care of that with your contractor. Okay?
Sometimes I just feel like I'm a target in this town, because There's been times when I called before the pandemic, I would get screamed at and hung up on the phone because they didn't want to talk to me. And it's happened on more than one occasion.
Well, that's definitely an issue that we will need to
Well,
address.
it's an issue, but I can't do nothing about it. It's never going to stop.
Diane,
It's
you can call,
You can call.
Dawn.
Yes.
If an issue like that occurs, Diane, you should be calling Dawn.
Absolutely, because let me just say this.
I'm still waiting for the resolution from November. Here it is June and nothing. I am a target in this town.
No, you're not. No, Ms. Kateri.
And you pick and choose what ordinance you want to have.
No, Miss.
Well, you're not a target for me, Diane. I don't have anything against you, so I wish you wouldn't say it, you guys.
No, Miss.
Anything I do, if I put my trash can out the day before Wingo died, I got the call. You got to move it back. So I do vegetation. And I know who it's from. I just let it go. But I'm going to tell you, who can play at that game? It's going to get ugly if it's going to just keep it up. Because I now have cameras everywhere, inside, outside, in the garage, in the shed, because I trust no one up this street. No one.
So, Mr. Terry,
I feel like I'm a target.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but again, if you have any issues, please going forward with regards to not getting return calls, please give me a call. Because again, we operate under a community-friendly aspect, and if there's any issues that you're having, we will deal with them. And I do apologize if you feel...
May 4th. I sent an email to you, to the mayor, to the solicitor, May 4th. No one's responded to me yet. From May 4th. No one responded to that email. So I know how the residents feel, and sometimes I just feel it's always just me.
Well, I'm sorry you
I
feel...
speak my mind and try to stand up for this town.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Mrs. Fatiri, you are on every single meeting that we have. And any of these concerns,
Exactly.
and any of these concerns that you have, you could bring up at any one of these meetings that you get on and talk about. So I don't understand what you're talking about. If you had a furnace and a heater put in, it has to be inspected. That's the law. I mean...
And I know that. I work in construction. I know what has to be done. That's why I had to wait an extra week, because he couldn't get permits. And I said, look, guys, it's got to get done. I need heat. I said, I'll deal with the contractor, because I can guarantee you, your name is on your truck. He already went to the township, and the letter will be coming. And sure enough, it did.
Well, Mrs. Viteri, when you had it done back in March, why didn't you say something at the next meeting?
No,
that you
it
couldn't get
was during the pandemic.
I know, but you
when I had it done.
called every single meeting. Why didn't you say something at the meeting that I can't get a hold of anybody to get my permits? I have to get, it's being put in, but I need to get my permits. Anything. I mean...
Because you guys don't listen to me. I mentioned something at another meeting, and you go, oh, well, we're working on it. I said, but yeah, but I mentioned it 2 weeks ago, and nothing was ever done, and now all of a sudden, we're going to work on it today, because you just ignore me. You ignore me.
No, well, let me just say this, Mr. Terry. The email that you sent on May 4th, we cannot give you an opinion on that. You mentioned something about what you needed to do, and it was really up to you.
No, I didn't ask that. I said I wanted it as a formal complaint, and I also requested a copy of the audio. No one even responded to say, well, you have to do this in order to get the audio. Like, you don't even respond. You could have said, listen, we can't handle this. You have to do something on your own.
Okay, well,
An answer would have been nice.
We'll go back to the email, but I do not recall anything about requesting for an audio.
So I would say the last line in there.
Okay. Is there anything else, Mr. Fatiri? Okay. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? Please state your name for the record. Seeing none, close the meeting to the public and entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Second. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Aye.
Aye.
Have a great evening. Thank you.